Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Wednesday, May 21st. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we're going to hear from the head of Instagram explaining about close friends, how it works, and how you can use it. Additionally, product lead Tom Bender, who works on the Edits app, shares a bunch of tips about how to get the best visual quality out of the Edits app from the videos that you make. You're going to want to know about this. The YouTube team has some updates about things that they're working on, which some are features that Instagram's had for a long time, and the TikTok app has a couple of updates that you need to know about. All of that and more on today's show, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the biggest news of the day, which comes from Threads via Tom Bender, who is product lead on the Edits app. He shares a bunch of tips about how to get Reels with the best visual quality. He explains, Reels with higher visual quality tend to get more engagement. A few tips on quality for creators making Reels with Edits. Number 1, resolution. Edits supports HD, 1080 by 1920. It also supports 2K, 1440 by 2560, and 4K, 2160 by 3840. I recommend filming and exporting at 2K. This gives your viewers maximum sharpness on Instagram and makes editing more efficient. You can use 4K if you want a super sharp archive, but your Instagram audience won't see a difference and it will be slower to edit. He continues, number 2, frame rate. Edits supports 24, 30, and 60 frames per second. Frame rate is a creative choice. 24, 30, and 60 have different vibes. Experiment with the Edits camera to see which look fits your content. 24 is the standard for films and has a dreamy motion blur look. 30 is the default for most videos. 60 looks fluid and hyper-real, like reality TV. He continues, number 3, dynamic range. Edits supports standard dynamic range, SDR, and high dynamic range, HDR. This is also a creative choice. Try both in the Edits camera and decide which look fits your content. HDR preserves a broader range of color and contrast, which can make your video more engaging. Some viewers don't like the look of HDR, but they can turn it off in Instagram settings. We automatically convert your content to SDR for these viewers. Number 4, sharing. When you export on Edits, you get a high-quality download on your camera roll that you can share wherever you want. If you use the integrated Share to Instagram button after exporting, your viewers may see higher quality on Instagram because we can optimize this flow and minimize re-encodes. That is it for the tips, but if you want to comment on this post, he says, please keep sharing feedback on how we can improve video quality and the export/share flow. We're building improvements to these features now based on creator feedback. Stay tuned. I will link to this post so you can read it for yourself. A lot of good information in here to remember. Let's move on to the next piece of news, which comes from the head of Instagram explaining the close friends feature. If you've been listening to this show for a while, you understand the concept of close friends. It's your ability to share Reels and stories with an inner circle, people who you choose to add to your close friends list. You can remove them at any time. They will see your stories with a green circle around them, letting them know that they're in your close friends group. And it's a way to really segment your audience. You might have a very professional account where you post business or work-related content, but you have an inner circle, your close friends group, that you share personal content with. That's exactly what close friends is for. Here's the head of Instagram explaining it.
Today, I wanted to highlight a gem of a feature on Instagram, maybe my favorite feature. You might know about it, you might not, and it's called Close Friends. Now, what Close Friends is a list that you curate that allows you to share a story, a photo, a carousel, or a reel just to that list, the people that you are most comfortable with. I post a lot on Instagram. I post a lot of public content, explainer videos, announcements, that sort of thing. But for the most sensitive content, like where I am at any given moment or photos of my kids, I post just for my close friends. My list is about 40 or 50 long. So if you have some content that you don't want to post post to everyone who follows you, close friends is a great way to share that content in a safe way. And nobody will know what your close friends list is. It's something that you can edit at any time, and someone cannot see whether or not they are on the list. But if you do post to close friends and someone is on the list, they'll be able to know that it was posted just to close friends. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. More to come. Peace.
If you are not using close friends, but for instance, you have multiple Instagram accounts, it might make sense to consolidate those and just use close friends to keep your life a little bit simpler. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some TikTok news and some updates from the YouTube team. Stick around. Welcome back. Let's dive into the TikTok news. TikTok has a great feature, which I love, called Add to Music. If you come across a sound that you like on TikTok and it's a song, you can add it to your Spotify playlist by clicking the Add button. I absolutely love this. Well, now they're expanding it to support SoundCloud as well. TikTok's blog post about this says, quote, SoundCloud, the artist-first platform with over 400 million tracks from 40 million artists, is well known for being the home of emerging artists, genres, and music that cannot be found anywhere else. Starting today, a new integration will begin rolling out to all TikTok users, making it easier than ever to save the music they discover on TikTok directly to their liked tracks playlist on SoundCloud, empowering artists and fans to build lasting connections so casual listeners can become lifelong fans. End quote. I will link to this blog post in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. Let's move on to the next piece of TikTok news, which you will need to know about if you sell on the TikTok shop. The TikTok team is rolling out Seller Assistant, an always-on AI-powered expert embedded within the TikTok shop Seller Center to help sellers navigate complexity, stay informed, and act faster. The blog post, which I will link to in the show notes, says that Seller Assistant isn't just a chatbot, but really it's an AI chatbot. If you have questions about how to improve your product's visibility or the best way to handle returns, the Seller Assistant works to deliver the answers that you need in just seconds. I will link to more about this in the show notes so you can make sure to take advantage of it. And lastly, let's move on to our YouTube news. Here is Lauren from the YouTube Creator Insider team with some updates, one of which Instagram does not have, and I absolutely love, and the other one Instagram's had for years. Here's the clip.
What's up, Insiders? I'm Lauren, a program manager working on our product team here at YouTube, and the producer of Creator Insider. So let's get into it. A few weeks ago, we talked about an experimental visual guide in the Shorts editor that shows creators where the elements they've placed, like text or interactive stickers, are relative to what a viewer will see. The goal is to help creators optimize their visuals and audience experience of their content by showing viewer-side elements like comments, the like button, and video description. This helps creators avoid placing visual overlays in locations where they might be obstructed. We're excited to announce that we're now rolling this out to all creators. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Okay, I just gotta pause that one for a second. Do you realize what she is indicating they are rolling out? Have you ever made a video and then you post it on Instagram and you realize that maybe a piece of text or something important in the video is under one of the icons that is somewhere on the Instagram screen, or in the bottom left corner, there's suddenly a label that you were not prepared for that's now showing up on the video and is blocking some part of it? That is an incredibly frustrating experience. YouTube now has a solution for this. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna let Lauren continue with the rest of the video.
Moving on, we're excited to announce quiz stickers to Shorts on Android and iOS. With this one-click sticker, creators can quiz their audience and evaluate if they understand a particular concept. This in turn can inspire future content creation. Whether you're testing their knowledge on a recent video topic, diving into a niche subject, or simply adding a dose of lighthearted competition to your channel, the possibilities are endless. Creators will be able to see the total number of responses and what percentage of viewers selected each answer choice. Let us know if you have any questions. Moving on, we're adding a chart for weekly top podcast shows on charts.youtube.com/podcasts. The goal is to help podcasters promote their show to viewers and help audiences discover what's popular on YouTube. All genres of podcasts are eligible to be included, and clips and shorts are not included. This is initially based on popularity in the US and will keep you posted as we expand to more countries. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
Okay, that is going to do it for today's news episode of the show. If you would like to hear me talk about a completely different topic that may or may not be related to social media, stick around after the theme music. As always, thank you for listening.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.
Oh, hey, thanks for listening to me talk about a slightly different topic. One of the things that I've always been incredibly interested in is FM. I grew up listening to FM radio. I always admired DJs. I thought that would be a pretty cool job, which is partially why I have a podcast. And although it's not 100% the same, I'm still interested in FM. I recently bought some FM transmitters, which work about 100 yards or so. And this weekend, I'm doing a backyard movie at my house with a projector outdoors with the screen, and I will be transmitting the audio over FM. My idea here is that the neighbors will not be annoyed, and we can all hear the movie, and everyone can listen to the movie at whatever volume they feel is appropriate for them using a personal FM radio. I really like this concept. I feel like there's so many different applications that you could do with it, because Bluetooth is great, but not for multi-person situations. Sure, you can have one or two people listening to the same set of Bluetooth earbuds, but FM can do a lot for very cheap. So I'm looking to experiment with that a little bit this weekend. I'll let you know how the backyard movie goes. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And thank you for listening to me talk about a slightly different topic other than social media. I super appreciate it.